Hey, everybody, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. We are back. I'm Phil from Zaid Comics, and we're back with another interview talking about an awesome new upcoming comic that is going to be launching on Indiegogo. And you guys just watched the trailer. This book looks so beautiful. I can't wait to dive into it with the creator, and we got him here today. But first, guys, if you're just tuning in, definitely hit the like and subscribe down below. Check out the links in the description. We have one for the columns of creation down there where you could sign up, as well as the new Zaid Comics book that is coming out, launching soon, Magic Cop 2, which I'm the writer of. And and then we got some people in the chat here. We got Andrew Taz as well. Wants to know if pants are optional. Always a great question to ask. We got Briscoe and Dave. What's up, brother? Thanks for tuning in. And my brother Brandon is dropping the Etsy link down there where you guys could get some amazing shirts from great comics creators. But yeah, let's bring the man in himself. What's up, brother? Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Phil. How you doing?
Yeah, good, man, good. I've been seeing you around on the different streams talking about this, getting in there early as well when you have your sign up list, which is awesome to promote that, and giving a little glimpse to everybody with that really cool trailer, very brief, much like a teaser trailer, showing off that beautiful art, man. This art looks so cool. I think it is very appealing to everyone. It has a very godly art style and reflects these entities that are kind of like embodiments of elements, it seems like, which is really cool. And I'll pull up the mailing list right now. Let's see here. Pull that up there. So if you guys are in the chat watching, you could head on over to that link and it'll take you to this page where you can watch that trailer again, read a little bit more about the book, and you could sign up totally free for this updates on the campaign. And you get, it says, an exclusive villain trading card here when you back the book, which is always really cool to see. I'm excited to hear more about that. But yeah, before we get into this, tell us about yourself, how you got going with creating comics. Obviously you're referencing stuff like Vertigo, which is awesome. I'm a big Vertigo fan from like late 80s, 90s Vertigo. So how'd you get into comics and creating this book?
Well, I've always loved comics, and since I was, I don't know, 8, 9, that's when I started reading them. And I'm Italian, so I grew, I was reading some different comics at first. Some Mickey Mouse, there's a comic called Diabolic, and a lot of I started to read actually manga pretty early on, Death Note, and then I sort of went back and forth with comics and video games and just other things in life.
Yeah, for sure.
And right now I am studying comic books at university, the greatest waste of time of all time, and. But here's the thing. I get to study the area of things that I love the most. So it's not so bad, to be honest with you.
It's pretty cool. I don't know of any universities over here that allow that.
There are.
That curriculum.
Yeah, there are. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So basically, I came up with columns of creation a couple of years ago, and at the beginning of the pandemic last year, I started looking for team members, and we developed the images that you were seeing. And so the comic book, for people who haven't been on the pre-launch page yet and haven't read the sort of the premise of it, is essentially the story of these cosmic beings. In my story, these are the elements of nature. They come from outer space. They're siblings, and they come to our planet to live as human beings. Why? Because they feel unaccomplished, they feel depressed, they feel bored, and these are very likable characters. So I like to think they're very well-rounded characters, three-dimensional characters, and I think people will really enjoy getting on this journey with them. And the first volume is going to focus on their arrival to Earth, and how they're going to basically infiltrate our society via probably illegal means, since they have no money, they have no documents, and most importantly, they're on a vacation from their duties, which means they're not going to create any of those things. They have decided that they will find creative ways to get around these obstacles, essentially. And that's basically the story that is gonna be in the first volume. The overarching story of the first arc, however, is that this journey of theirs is going to be abruptly interrupted by this blue guy right here, Paradox, who is the embodiment of black holes. And he has been living on our planet peacefully as a benevolent entity. He's been living under the disguise of a human being, much like they're trying to do now, for far longer than they have. And something goes terribly wrong, and he just becomes very angry and becomes hell-bent on destroying our world, and the Columns of Creation will be the only thing that can stop him.
Wow. That's it sounds like an epic story. And with all these different characters and stuff, a really chance to dive into different personalities, it looks like, as well, because these characters are so strikingly different. They have like their own unique silhouette, and as soon as you look at them, you're going to recognize them in most situations, which is really good for characters and very good for showing off different personality traits as well. We got people in the chat digging. Vertigo says the last OG Hellblazer was the last thing that he's read from the mainstream. That's great. And then this actually, it gives me, like you said, Vertigo vibes, especially the character designs. Paradox here, that's his name, right? Paradox?
Yes.
Yeah. So he reminds me of a character right out of something from Sandman, from Vertigo, like Neil Gaiman's Sandman. And a lot of these characters do. It feels like a Sandman-esque world or Vertigo-based world, which is really cool. Now, in the story, I'm sure we're going to see some conflict between the Columns of Creation and Paradox. What are we? How are you kind of looking to portray the action in this book? Because it sounds like it's a lot of character building. Talking about personalities, going on a vacation, these characters being depressed, kind of looking something more from life. Is there going to be like that comic book style action in a book like this?
Yes. In the first volume, I'm going to give you a glimpse. As soon as you open it, it's going to be a glimpse of the climax.
Oh, sweet.
That's right. But you're not going to get that climax in that volume. I'm sort of letting you smell the hot dog, however you want to put it, so that you come back for more. And hopefully you will come back for more, because there is definitely that type of action. I made sure of it. The first volume, you're definitely having action, but it's gonna work its way up to the type of stuff that you're thinking. But you're definitely gonna see them use their powers, their abilities, and it's not all about character building. But you do need character building. Otherwise, you get to the action and things are happening. Characters are dying, getting hurt, and you're like, I don't care. Who are these people? I don't know them. So why would I care about them? So you need both things, but you can't write a boring story, definitely. So you won't find any of that.
Very good.
Boring stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Dave says, love the sound of the story, and the art looks awesome. I think this one will do great. Yeah, I mean, the art is beautiful. It's I would just describe it as fantastic. So much fantasy elements in here with just the character designs themselves. And you're saying that these characters go to Earth to try to get away and live regular lives on Earth. Now, when they do that, is the reader going to still be seeing them as these characters, or are they going to have a disguise for kind of like the normal people on Earth?
You know what? I'm glad you asked.
Mhm.
I'm glad you asked because I'm gonna. Is it okay if I share my screen?
Of course, yeah, I'd love to see.
All right, if you just give me 1 second.
Mhm.
I actually just yesterday, I sent my artists some photos of how I would like these characters to look as human beings, right? So they will definitely be under the guise of humans.
Very cool.
So let me see here. Let me see
Awesome.
here. I have like a gazillion pages
That's
open right
okay.
now.
Yeah, I'll read some chats here. We got in the chat. There's definitely a lot of hot dog smelling in CG. You're in the right place, brother. There we
Yeah,
go.
hopefully.
Red Skirt says the embodiment of a black hole sounds like my ex. But yeah. No, that idea is really cool. These like personifications of elements, kind of cosmic creatures,
Hmm.
very much like godly entities, and that's what I really like about this because it gives me that feeling of these are like kind of like mythological gods, which I'm a huge fan
Hmm.
of, and seeing different interpretations of that, of elements and stuff in
Hmm.
comics and through other people's creative eyes is really cool. Let's see, you're
Hmm.
sharing your screen here.
All right,
So,
so let me show you. So these are how I envision them as humans,
mhm.
and this is
Oh yeah,
basically
yeah,
how
that's cool.
my artist is what he's going to use these images as references.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I see you're like picking up on key elements there,
Yeah,
traits to kind of
yeah,
relay that to the human aspect.
that's right.
Very cool. Now, can we like go through these characters and you say a little bit about? Oh, there we go. I mean, you need Keanu, right? You got
You
Keanu.
do, you do need Canna definitely. All right, so well, let me see here. So you have water. Water
Mm-hmm.
is um, a playful character. She's quite reckless, and she, you know, without giving spoilers anything away, but she will be the reasons. She will be the reason for a little bit of trouble that
Yeah.
these characters are gonna get into. Then you've got Wind. Wind is a proud character. He's not relentless. Well, relentless in many ways, but he feels he's jealous of his brother Fire because Fire is the leader of the columns of creation, and Wind always wanted to be the leader, but their father never gave him a chance for reasons unknown as of yet. So then you have Light. Light is a little guy at the front on the left.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
really cool. And just before
yeah,
you go on, he kind of like sticks out in like art style where a lot of these characters are kind of like modern
yeah,
comic-y Western style, and he like
yeah.
reminds me of like more of a manga style. With the big eyes,
Hmm.
he could give
Hmm.
really cool expressions, being smaller as
Yeah.
well, kind of like a sprite.
Well, my artist, he did that with the eyes. I liked it.
Yeah, I love it.
When I drew the character, he has basically light coming out of his eyes.
Hmm.
So I think he took that concept and made it a little bit artsy,
Hmm.
basically.
Yeah.
But I love it, and yeah. So light is a sweary, short-tempered type character, kind of like Rocket Raccoon. But he has baggage, much like many of them. He is not a child. They're all the same age. He might look like a child, but he made the choice to look like a kid, and there's a reason for that, which we might explore in the future. Then you've got Dark, the demonic looking guy. Dark, unlike what you might think, he's actually very friendly and very kind-hearted character, and he and Light have a very special bond. And then you've got Lightning. In fact, if you don't mind,
Hmm.
if you go to the website columnsofcreation.com,
Yeah.
there is a picture of the cover, the full cover, so you can see all of the characters and the full cover properly.
All right, I'm pulling it up right now.
It's freezing cold in this room.
Here you go. Boom.
Right, there you
Yeah.
have it. So you have Lightning right there. Lightning will go sort of on her own journey during the story, and it's going to be interesting for me to try and condense everything that happens in the second half of the story. And she's not interested in all of the dramas that her family goes through. She's a loner, essentially, and yeah, she's gonna befriend a guy who many of them are gonna have human relationships, not necessarily, boyfriend girlfriend. I mean, like, friends as well, and those relationships, those characters are going to be important in the sense that they represent mankind to them. And so at the end, by the end of the journey, these characters hopefully will be transformed, they will be bettered, or they will be worsened. And those human characters are important to show them that there is hope in humanity, that we are good, and that there is beauty in us. And yeah, so then you have Earth, big green guy at the back.
Yeah,
uh,
he looks awesome, man.
yeah, can't miss it. Earth is, he's the wisest, and he's a Pacific. Can you say Pacific? He's a peaceful character. I'm sure that you can say Pacific, maybe in the olden days.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, he's a peaceful type character, but he will protect his family no matter what. And then you have Fire. Fire is the catalyst of the story, much like his fist forward. He's the one who kickstarts this whole story, the one who proposes to his siblings to come and take some time off on our planet. And he's the one who feels the most, this sense of loneliness and unaccomplishment. It'll be interesting to see how all of these very different personalities are going to clash and collaborate. Are they gonna make it against Paradox, who is incredibly powerful? I mean, they are not good at working together. So we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, man, this is a great cover too, man. This striking image. You have everybody on here. A lot of the times when you have books that could be considered team books, or books with a lot of, protagonists or main characters, it's hard to get a cover that works. And I think this shows everyone in, their different abilities and personalities and stuff very well. And just that cosmic background is a perfect backdrop for it.
I know, right?
I love that stuff. Really cool. And I like that this is more of like a celestial being book more than like an outer space, book as well. That speaks to me more personally. So I like that stuff. I think the logo is great. You got everything going on in the right direction. And how long have you been working on this? You said almost like just like a year, right?
Yeah, it's been a year that we've been working on it with the team, but a year prior to that, that's when I started doing sketches and drawings. And this very cover is based on a cover that I made, which you could also find on the website. There are several pages, by the way, for the viewers on that website. You want to go to it and explore it because you will learn a lot of interesting things about the lore of this world, their personalities.
Can I pull some of those pages up?
Yes, please.
Oh yeah, like, look at this. This is great. This is just a great image, man.
This is an interior page. This will be this will be a variant cover.
Wow.
Without the lettering, of course. So yeah.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, but actually, when I said pages, I didn't mean specifically the comic book pages. I meant like pages of the web pages, right? Like, yes, like you can find all kinds of information on the website, and yeah. And where are you? Are you on colors versus black and white?
I'm just on the main page here.
Oh, you're on the main page. Oh, all right, it's interesting. Yeah, you see up top, you have all of those different pages.
Yeah.
So on colors versus black and white, you find the pages, all of them, properly, properly shown,
Yeah.
and
Very cool.
thank you, man.
Yeah, really cool designs. of these characters, and it's going to be awesome to see them interact with humans and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
That's going to be crazy. And this page was very cool. Lots of kind of history going on here.
yeah. That's everyone's favorite page, and it is one. I don't know if it's my favorite page, but it's definitely one of my favorite pages. This is obviously showing the passage of time, as you know, as we approach the. This is the beginning of the comic. It was supposed to be the very beginning, but I've now decided to put a glimpse of the climax at the very beginning, which I have no idea why I didn't think of that before.
I think that's a good
And
idea for just any comic creators to do,
yeah,
because you want that action at the beginning to suck
yeah,
people in and be like, oh, okay, this is the
hmm
extent, like this is what we could do in this universe, and it's really
hmm
good. You talk to any comic book writer that is seasoned, you want that like page two splash page, or double
hmm
page spread, stuff like that, showing some really good action there to draw a reader in. And I think that goes back to like comic stand stuff where you're flipping through to see if you like a book, and then you're like,
hmm
oh yeah, there's some really good the possibilities in here are really really good. And we got some, I saw there's some nudity in here as well, so
yeah.
all of the deviants out there will really enjoy that. Yeah. No, this looks so fun, man. It looks like an awesome series. How many pages are you planning on the first book being for your launch?
44.
Oh, nice. Very
Yeah.
good. It's a good number. And do you guys have like a launch date that you're looking at?
Well, I was thinking of a launch date earlier. I've been saying a launch date in the previous streams, but now I'm not sure anymore. So I'm just gonna say coming soon,
Yeah.
basically. Yes.
Yeah. That's good that you're getting on streams early and talking about it, letting people know about it. That's the way you have to do it.
Yeah.
And then, how do you have an idea of like how long this series is going to be? How many books are you going to be doing with this? Is this
Yeah.
something that we're going to be seeing for a long time, or is there a kind of an end to it?
It's gonna be 4 volumes,
Mhm.
if I can help it. It all depends on how much money we make.
Of
Like
course.
if I make, God willing, a shit ton of money. I don't know, like I don't know, 50,000, 100,000.
Yeah.
I would never dream of making that type of money, but let's say that we did, right? I could put out a giant book. I don't care. If money was no issue, I would put out the whole entire, like, 500 pages of content all at once, and that would be it. But it is better to put it out, bit by bit. So it's going to be 4 volumes, and I would like the next few volumes to be longer. Hopefully, if the backers rally around this project, that's definitely a possibility. And yeah, so 4 volumes in total, and there will be 2 arcs. The first arc, volume 1 and volume 2. Um, I think how it's gonna be titled is uh, Columns of Creation, Down to Earth, volume 1, Columns of Creation, Down to Earth, volume 2, and then Columns of Creation, Sky High, volume 1, and Columns of Creation Sky High, volume 2. And I'm not sure about this title yet. This is the
Yeah.
first time I'm saying it
Working title.
on video.
Still.
It's a working title. That's right.
Look at this.
And
This is
that's it.
awesome. This little statue thing is really cool.
Well, thank you so much. I am thinking of producing these in the future.
Yeah, man.
Again, it all depends on how well the campaign does.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I mean, stuff like this is really cool. Down the line when you have that fan base and your IP is kind of taken off. Definitely, I think that's something that a lot of people are interested in doing, is stuff like this for the future, like action figures, statues,
Hmm.
just more merchandise that just kind of builds your fan base and kind of
Hmm.
gets your audience excited for the content. Um,
Hmm.
and a lot of people kind of do that right off the bat, and they kind of kick themselves for it, because it does take a lot of money and resources to put something
Oh yeah.
out. You need that fan base for it. So starting doing crowdfunding like this, like we're doing, getting the content out there, the comics, just to build up that fan base. Doing YouTube stuff like that. That really helps you gauge how many people you're going to have interested in something like that. But
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
yeah, yeah, man, this looks great.
Thank you.
I don't know. Everybody needs to sign up for this. It's totally free. Like we said before, all these signups are a great way to stay in contact with the creator and able to hear updates about what's going on. So
And
definitely.
they want to sign up because, like I said, they will get a Paradox trading card exclusively. You don't get that card if you don't sign up. There will be there are 7 more trading cards in this campaign. 4 will unlock as stretch goals, and 1 will be part of the featured perk. So let's say that you get the featured perk and we unlock all the stretch goals. You'll still be missing 1 card just because you didn't sign up to this now, which is free. So why the hell wouldn't you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely sign up. Now, you say that Paradox kind of like the embodiment of black holes. Now, how is he able to, like, what are his powers? How does he destroy things? You say he's hell bent on destroying humanity. What is he able to do? And we see here, I mean, he's very ethereal. He's got some obviously crazy abilities. What's that going to look like in the comic?
Well, here's the thing.
Mhm.
When you write your comic, right? So you understand this. Right now, and this is the first time I'm working with this artist, and I think we will have a very, very long career together. When I wrote the script, I wrote certain things, right? He does this, he does that. But my artist, what I'm going to tell him is use your imagination.
Mhm.
All right. If you think that if you visualize him doing something else, uh, let him do it, and I'll tell you what I think about it. Right? If I like the idea, if I think maybe you should change it to something else, because I didn't tell him to put that kind of black energy around his arms. He did it on his own. So that shows that he already has a vision for how his power works. And I don't want to get in the way of that vision, because as an artist myself, I don't just write, I can draw as well. I understand the the power of visual storytelling, and that there's only so much I can tell him. He already knows what to do, so yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No, that I think that's a great part of the creative process that comes almost only solely through comic book storytelling.
Mm.
That companionship between a writer and an artist. If you see something like in film, there's so many people working on film that
Yeah.
a lot of the roles and creativity gets lost in that pile of workers. But in comics here, working with a writer and illustrator, you get that collaborative effort. And a lot of the times, it's really awesome to see what the other person, how they interpret your words, leave it to their imagination, because that artist is, has their own, vision and creative process and ideas for things. And
That's right.
sometimes those things just take everything to the next level. And that's when you have something really, really great when you're working with someone like that. So yeah, I totally understand that.
Yes.
And I heard you talking on another stream where he kind of developed the look for this character. You guys are co-creating it together, which is really cool, and it's very striking. Again, with a lot of these characters, their profiles, their silhouettes are very, very unique, stemming from the hair as well, which I think a lot of that hair gives me that vibe of like Sandman from Vertigo as well. Very
Yeah.
cool. So yeah, I think that is a big deal, especially with Paradox too. He's got like this big kind of ghostly flowing ball of hair, which is really cool.
Yeah, that kind of however you want to call it, that the top of his head,
Hmm.
that actually goes down. And so I think my artist is like, when he's flying or he's floating, so that's the hair, right? Or
Oh
even
yeah,
if it's maybe if he's on the ground, he's touching the ground with his feet, perhaps. They might be flowing, however he wants to draw it. I don't know.
yeah,
But yeah, when I designed these characters, I wanted to do some. I wanted them to look very simple, because they need to be, for a character to be successful. If you're a writer out there and you are, you want to make your comic, you have to create characters that, like Phil said, you could make them black outlines, silhouettes, and you will still know who you're looking at.
hmm,
Pikachu, Sonic, I don't know, whoever you can think of, Cyberfrog, and yeah, that's my art.
hmm.
And so when I drew them, I was like, they need to be simple, so that even if a child is looking at them, they understand what they're looking at, like easily. They need to be quickly recognizable, and they need to be easy to draw, because if I'm gonna, I actually pitched this comic to some publishers, and I was like, if I am going to publish this as a monthly comic, the least that I can do to myself is make sure that these characters are not hard to draw, that it doesn't take ages. Yeah, so that's the first sketch he sent me of Paradox.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man. Yeah, and I love how it evolved and just colored. It look just brings it to the next level. Uh,
Hmm.
Really, really cool. And yeah, like what you were saying, even with your designs from when you were drawing these characters, kind of concepts, you could totally tell this is water uh,
Hmm.
and and fire. And I love seeing art from concept to finished product. It's really cool, and I'm sure you seeing your characters that you drew and designed through the hands of a different artist was really exciting as well, because that's
It was,
so
yeah.
cool. Yeah, and once this starts getting out there and you start campaigning for it, when you launch your campaign and you see people doing fan art of the characters, that's even better, man. It's so cool.
Well, actually, there's been already some fan art coming in,
Awesome.
because I'm on Instagram, so I did a couple of giveaways and stuff,
Hmm.
and I wanted some fan art because, like you said, like, there's few things are cooler than seeing people make fan art of your characters. So you can see that stuff on the website as well. Like, honestly, there's so much stuff that you can look at. It's crazy. The character Freakazoid.
Yeah.
Someone else said that. Um, the character that changed the most from my designs to Matthias' designs
Yeah.
is Earth, definitely. And he changed Dark as well a little bit, his horns, and he gave him facial hair. Whereas in my version, he didn't have facial hair. And yeah, but my whole entire team, I'm just so proud of working with them. My colorist, I've never seen. I've seen amazing colors been put out by Marvel and DC, let's say, but
Yeah.
it's rare that I've seen this level. Because you understand, as a comic book creator, look at all those highlights. I mean, look at that.
Yeah. See, as you can compare that to this.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's really, really good, man.
You
Super,
know.
super cool. Uh, and is he doing his own colors, or do you have another
No,
color?
no. So the artist's name is Mattia Monaco. Colorist's name is Carlos Moreno, and the letter's name is Dave Lentz.
Very beautiful, man.
Yeah, and
So
Dave also is my graphic designer. He helps me design. He designed the logo, the trading cards. He's gonna create the images that will be the perks for the campaign, and stretch goal images and stuff like that. So I couldn't do it without them. That's for sure.
look at that. That's so cool. No, it sounds like you have a great team, man. This looks like a really awesome book that a lot of people are excited about, looking forward to. What's up Monstrosities, what's up, brother? Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, I can't wait for this. Excited to see where it goes. And, you know, if we can get to those later things, like maybe that statue, would be really cool to do in the future.
Definitely.
Yeah. Anything else before we get out of here, man?
No, just thank you for having me on, giving me a voice, the opportunity to share my work. Congrats on your campaigns, and thank you to the chat for being there.
Yeah, always the chat. You guys definitely sign up for this. Head on over. Link is in the description below. Just click on over there, and you can just type your email in here. Totally free. You'll know when they're going live, and you can stay in contact, get the updates for Columns of Creation. Before we head out, I just wanted to talk about stuff that we have going on over here. Like you said, we have the Lost Pages is what, seven backers away from hitting 500 backers, which is amazing. Thank you everybody who helped us out with this and got the book. The books are shipping out next day. I have a book to ship out today that I'll be doing that after this. And then the newest comic that we're coming out with next month, we'll be launching Magic Cop 2, which we've been talking a lot about this week. We just put up an update video yesterday about it on the channel. So if you guys haven't watched that, definitely hit the subscribe button. Go back and watch that. And I wanted to show you guys the actual cover of the ash can that we're putting out for Magic Cop 2.
Great.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's going to be super fun. We just got this revised version, and this is going to be our Magic Cop 2 ash can. Let's zoom in here a little bit. Ann Alonso is doing a great job on this story. It's going to be about Grey Wolf, kind of like a throwback to Kung Fu movies or Steven Seagal movies. Grey Wolf is a detective in the universe, and he goes above the law to track down someone that he needs to seek revenge on. And you know, he's got his katana. He's going hunting down some bad people, and this is going to be the cover for it. Super Japanese inspired. Alan is killing it on the artwork. It's just going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be super fun, man. So yeah, everybody, this is going to be with the campaign for Magic Cop 2. So everybody sign up for that. Because you're not going to want to miss out on it. So thanks for doing that. It's the same thing as like the Columns of Creation sign up. You just drop on over to the mailing list, sign up, and you're good to go. That really helps us track like how many people are interested in the book as well.
Yeah, and when you guys do that, don't forget to confirm that you signed up through your emails. And by the way, I saw a guy in the chat, Monstrositus X.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He said I didn't basically satisfy him with the answer I gave about paradox abilities. Yeah. So here's the thing. I can't tell you for sure because it's going to be up to my artist to bring that to life now. All right. Now I can tell you more or less what, you can tell yourself what lightning or water or dark, what they might do, what it's going to look like perhaps. But paradox, it's a different story. What I wrote in the script is a lot of telekinetic things. And absorption kind things, so kind of like, do you know Cell from Dragon Ball Z?
Right? Yeah, sure.
You know how Cell, with his tail he absorbed other androids and made himself powerful. So there are things that Paradox can do in order to enhance himself and even perhaps change his form. So yeah, I can't tell you too much about that. So I guess you'll just have to wait and read it.
There you go. Sounds great. I imagine Paradox being the embodiment of the black hole would have a lot of sucking capability, sucking stuff into it. So, black holes suck.
Yeah. He's good at sucking. Yeah, he's great.
So sign up, everybody. Yeah, and thanks for everybody tuning in. Comic Mark is spamming the chat, And yeah, appreciate it, brother. Thanks for tuning
Hey,
in.
Mark. Yeah, thank
Like
you.
like the video, guys, and share this out too. It's going to be up here for people to go back and watch. And if you guys haven't yet, go back and watch our Magic Cop Monday show episode we did yesterday. We posted that up. We're going to start doing weekly videos again now that we're promoting Magic Cop. And yeah, watch that, even if you watch it on mute. But I mean, you'll want to see all the cool stuff that we're talking about. And hit that like. Really helps us out. Trying to grow the channel. So yeah, thanks for watching. We will catch you guys later with another stream or video, and see you